It is another beautiful show. My name is Brian, and of course, this is Brynetic Sports. Here to give you the latest news as well as information coming in from the world of sport. It's Uganda versus Botswana this week, and it's going to be on. And we believe that that game is a game that really will draw a lot of conclusion, especially to the country's preparation for the tournament, the World Cup, as well as the African Cup of Nations coming in. And of course, you all know that Mandela National Stadium is going to be hosting this close encounter, and a lot of things have transpired since we last watched a game in Mandela National Stadium. One of the few things, of course, is the stadium, the screens, the substitute benches, and everything has been improved ever since, of course, you were last in Namboole. And of course, the latest innovation, the LED advertising boards, something that has been called on by so many people. A lot of people have been questioning me. They've been typing in the messages and asking, are these advertising boards going to be around the stadium? I can confirm from the videos that we've seen that the LED advertising boards have already been installed, and they are going to be around the pitch. So it's going to be looking like a modern stadium. The pitchmen have been working tirelessly the whole week to see that this playing surface is 100% ready. Everything has been worked on, and we believe that Uganda really against Botswana, this is a game that we will, of course, showcase the preparations and their success and how much has been put into that national team. Of course, our challenge for so many years has been preparation wise. Of course, we've always had issues with preparation. I think this year around, and this reign of Mr. Magogo, one of the few things that has been worked on is the way the team prepares, the remuneration and all those things. I don't think they're a problem anymore. Recently, the speaker came in and gave them over 50 million Ugandan shillings as something to help them prepare, something like to do with a take home. And we all know that including the other sponsors like MTN and all the other sponsors, money has been put into this national team to see that it's successful. With the environment and whatever is happening around, the excitement as well from the general public, I still believe that we will have a good game, and I believe that Uganda Cranes will come out as victors in the game that is going to be on this Friday. Of course, our challenge has always been scoring goals. I think Massa was one of the strikers that really gave us an edge, and we've not had a reputable striker that has scored the goals for the national team. But now it's going to be upon the creative players that we have in that team. We have quite a number of them that I believe are going to be the basis of our creativity and of course our attack. The likes of Jeremy, of course on the other, no, let me not begin with the Botswana team. On the Ugandan teams, the likes of Travis Mutiaba from Zamalek, you remember that player. There's another player by the names of Alan Okello. You all know that he's one that is very promising. He's one of the few young players that have really gone through the system, and you expect him to be a player that we can rely on. Patrick Kakanda and Ibrahim Okello are the players that are going to be in that creativity role, and we should use them to see that we dominate teams and keep the teams at bay, because if we don't score the good amount of goals here at home, this is going to be a little bit more complicated for us if we don't do the necessary job in that group. Our last game was a 2-2 draw against Ghana. In that game, of course, it was a friendly on March 26th, and you expect us to really be an improved side from that game. Of course, then the scorers in that game were Jeremy Opoku and Jordan Ayew for Ghana, and on the Ugandan side we had Stephen Mukwala as well as Muhammad Shaban, who scored the goals in that game. The other games that we played, we had a 2-0 victory against Kuwait, and then the other game also we played was another game. It was a 4-0 defeat, of course, to Comoros. We lost that game to Comoros. That was on March 22nd. So we expected, of course, to add on the good start that we've had, of course, to the campaign. We kicked off the campaign with a 2-1. That is a loss to Guinea at the State Municipal Kanabe on November. And of course, for on the other side, we also know that Botswana were denied their first win with a goalless draw to Burundi all the way in the Mahamasima Municipal Stadium on March the 25th. And of course, we all know that the Zebras have now been involved in a share of spoils in each of their 3 friendly outings. They've not been performing very well, and I remember, I think, a game on November 21st, they beat Guinea 1-0 to record their first win of the World Cup qualifiers. And Uganda, of course, when you compare our form in there, we've lost in the last games in the qualifiers. The last 2 games, one was a loss and the other one was a win. And in all competitions, we've won at least 2 games and lost 3 and drawn 1. And Botswana as well, in their form, they've also lost 1 and won 1. In other competitions, they also still look like a team that draws too much. So we need to find a way of putting goals past them in there. And of course, the 28-man squad was summoned already, and the players are already in camp. And we all know that the likes of Kenneth Semakula and Ronald Sechiganda and Umar Lutalo from the winning side from AC Villa are already in camp, and you expect them to be part of this game. And of course, some of the notable inclusions in there, we have Ibrahim Kasule from Red Bulls, that Red Bulls 2 team. He's one of the players that came in a little bit late. Another forward from Port Valley and former Watford, of course, player. He's called Uche Mubiru. The other name is a little bit complicated. I might not really mention him. He's another player that we shall look at, and he's expected to be making his debut for the national team as well. Bevis Mugabe from Motherwell. He was part of the other draw that we had against Ghana, so you expect him to be in that defense with the likes of Halid Al-Walida, and you expect him to at least create that partnership with him to make that defense a little bit more solid on the other side. And of course, you expect Botswana also to have a better side. You expect them, of course, to have the likes of the Tumisango, Rebe, Kabero, Sejang, and of course their skipper, he's called Ndikorete. That is another player that you expect him. He's a player who plays from Kaizer Chiefs. The name is Nditirokwe. He plays in Kaizer Chiefs. He's one of the few players that you should really expect to be a little bit of a player that we need to watch out, especially in this game in there. And of course, our full team, when you look at the lineups, Watega, Mwere, Lwadira, Mugabi, Semakula, Kasule, Kalida Ucho, Mutiaba, Mukwara. Then we have Mubiru, Ipekuzu, as well as Bayo. We expect them to be starting that game in there. But one thing I can say is preparations are already underway. The stadium is already underway. It's already, I think, looking better than you never even expect. Everything I looked at, the VIP rooms, I looked at the LED screen, now the LED advertising boards, the substitute benches were installed this week. I think 2 days. I think they were installed yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. And then the playing surface is worked on very well. I think everything looks all set, and for the first time, the excitement is there. We have fans that are getting to the stadium and looking like they really want to see the national team perform. And to me, that is where we need to capitalize that support. We need to create excitement in the fans for us to have at least the fans coming back to the stadium. For the national team, I think we've not had any problem with the fans supporting the national team. The only problem comes in when we are supporting our clubs. Our local clubs really lack the mobilization strategy for the fans out there. But the national team is loved by so many. They really want to be part of it, and they know what to do, especially when it comes to these international games. So I think, to me, the difference between us and Botswana will be about the home support, and that is what we need so much. The game is going to be 7 p.m. So the national team has been doing night trainings. The lights as well have been worked on, so you don't expect dark spots in the stadium. You expect at least a stadium that looks good. So 100%, I think we are there. We are there. We are just waiting for the game to be on. So for all those that have been asking, are we going to be having advertising boards? That I can confirm that they're going to be available in that stadium. They're already installed, and they are going to be tested as soon as possible to see that our stadium looks better and better, like you've never seen it before. So that was just to give you a heads up for you to really know where our team is at. We are ready. We are all excited, and we believe that the national team, the Uganda Twins, will be victorious by the end of tomorrow. That is a Friday, or by the end of Friday if you're watching this. That is on Friday. So thank you so much for being part of Brynetic Sports. My name is Brian. See you some other time. Of course, we shall be giving you a recap of the games, and we shall be telling you more about the news coming in from all around the team, especially when you look at everything that is to do with the national team, as well as our preparation for the African Cup of Nations 2027. We saw Amahoro Stadium looking better. A lot of things. I'll be finding a video for you telling you exactly what Rwanda has done better and what we should expect from Suma, the contractors. First, we are given Hoima Stadium with the way it looks. We shall be looking at that and so much more. But for that, we'll keep it to the next video. Brian Wangarulan, stay safe, enjoy your day. Bye bye.